Well, we're not till final
No, we
yet.
were there.
No,
No, we have 2 revenue.
1.5 either.
Oh,
Very good.
oh, no, they're not levy, that's right.
I have a revenue, oh, are we talking about the parking?
Line 39, on page 185, the parking utility budget. There's discussion about adding a user fee for single night permits. Currently the village is paying $1 a fee if just to implement those requests. There'd be a little additional cost to implement a payment program with credit card processing and programming fees. So the recommended amount to cover costs, if that is the general intent, would be $2 per single night for further discussion.
I would like to suggest we raise it to 3. And maybe it doesn't make sense, but if you run the numbers, if we do end up offering an on-street parking permit, it would be cheaper to go the $2 for however many nights. That would still equal cheaper than what we could sell an overnight permit for. So in order to make it beneficial for someone to buy an overnight permit, if they were offered $3 makes sense. But I'm not opposed to doing 2 now. I just want to throw it on the table that in the future, $3 may make sense.
Is there a limit to how many you can, isn't there a limit?
20 per
Per
vehicle.
license.
20 per license
So if
plate.
you have 3 cars and 60, you can just keep doing permits.
Oh, you can rotate them.
You can run the equivalent of about 1 month per car with 20 nights, so you theoretically could run 3 months out of the year, your residents parking 1 vehicle on the street and rotating them accordingly.
So, I guess the question is for us. So now if there's a resident and they have a guest come, and even if they have a driveway or not have a driveway, and their guest is out in the street, it used to be where you could call in,
Okay, now you do it online.
but now you have to do it online.
Or you
Or
can
what?
call in if you don't have a computer.
Yeah, what do you do if you don't have a computer?
You call it, they call in, they just call in.
So they can do it by
And
calling
they
in?
can get exceptions too.
Okay. And, I'm sorry, what? Okay. So if you had a guest coming, you get it for nothing.
But if you do it online, the problem was we were getting charged about $4,700.
I understand.
We get charged that $1 fee.
So it's going to be a bit of an education process with residents because they're used to, and many residents don't use this for 20 times a year. They might use it for 3 or 4 times a year. I mean, that's what I did.
400 vehicles that have already used up their 20 days.
Yeah, there's
In
a.
2017, utilization.
And then
is
how many
dramatically
vehicles only have
less.
1 or 2? Well, typically.
Yeah, you got some that have 1 or 2, but they're all over the place.
Oh.
Some have used 7, 8 days, some have used 10. And you're looking by the end of the year that the village will likely have something like close to 30,000 of these, free nights that have been used.
50,000.
At a direct out-of-pocket cost of about 15,000 that the village has paid for processing them.
50,000.
50,000.
50,000.
50,000?
Yes,
No,
$50,000.
$50,000
And
if we did the $2
No,
per night.
no, 50,000 that we're paying for 50,000 permit,
Right
would be
now.
$1 permit.
50,000?
Yes, 50,000. How many is this?
It's a little in excess of 4,000 permits per month are being issued.
But we're paying that much money right now.
Yes, we are. That's why the
We're
parking
paying
utility is separate.
50,000?
Yes.
Okay, what, I
Every
mean,
year.
to
Not
Guy's,
just for this, though, that's
to
for-
Guy's
No, that's
point,
just for this.
to Guy's point though, I mean, many people like have relatives visit and it's a couple of nights and so I mean, I would support like 10 free, for the most people who are just having 1-time or 2-time visitors or something like that. So we're maintaining our previous practice of giving of having some on-street parking. But then once you get past the 10, then it's $2 or something. I mean, I think we should still have some free.
How about free? I mean, if you, I understand what you're saying, but we have to reprogram Duncan. So there's gonna be a sunken cost to be able to accept credit cards for that over whatever number you're picking. So that,
Well,
Are we still gonna have the limit of 20?
if I can just interject,
Yeah.
we were gonna change.
you
that
get
to
a limited number of permits and then you are locked out. So 10 and then 10 paid is a whole different level of contemplation than just either changing it to 10 and then you have to buy a monthly permit, or to putting a fee on it for whatever amount you're gonna allow a vehicle to have on-street single night permissions. So I like the idea, but
You're
from
saying
a
that's
practical
too
state,
complicated to do that?
it would be extremely challenging to implement, yeah.
So we still have the 20 limit if we charge the $2 or $3?
At this moment, we haven't changed it.
So we keep the 20
Correct.
unless we do something different.
Unless you change it at some point in the future.
And what are the cost components? What's the cost we're paying for each?
Well, we're paying $1 per permit right now for system management.
Okay.
If we charge a fee, they're gonna have to embed the credit card processing fee,
Okay.
So
which
10
is-
cents or whatever.
it's a little heavy because there's a fixed amount per transaction, and then, you know, and then there'll be some programming costs that they'll have to absorb. So if we are looking to break even, you know, the closest sensible number would be about $2.
It's
If we're
gonna be at
looking
least
to,
$1.50, yeah, cost.
Yeah.
right?
yeah, well, about $2, I mean, you know,
And I mean, what I would do when I was in my old house is have the person pull into the driveway then. So you wouldn't be getting this fee. It'd just be a matter of car shuffling the next
Right.
morning.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do then, because for me, it was like a maximum of 4 times a year that I would call in. Actually, I would call in a little more because sometimes if it was 10 o'clock at night and I saw my car sitting out there and I'm in my pajamas,
Oh,
yeah, well, at least you
I'd
remember.
call in. That's
the
what they would
neighbors
get a
are gonna
ticket.
go out.
So you add that to the 3 or 4 times with company, you know, it probably gets up to, 5 or 6 times.
how would we roll this out? I mean, what would be the timing of rolling this out?
Well, if this is something that the board's willing to pursue, we should be able to have it implemented in, well, about the first of the year. We wouldn't try for anything sooner than that, and again, there's gonna have to be some communication and stuff like that, so if that takes until February, we'll take some progress till February.
Even though you're saying there's 400 vehicles that use up the 20, there's gonna be a lot of other vehicles that we're doing it the way
I thought
the way
it
I
was
was doing
it was
it.
30, they were saying there's 50,000 vehicles a year parking on this program.
Yes,
I didn't realize it was that high. I know
50,000
we were
nights?
yes.
Yes.
50,000 a year that use
There could
up
be more.
to 23 parking.
They run
Or
out.
50,000 free?
Yes, free.
So this would be in the parking utility though, or would it be?
Yes.
Yes.
Nightly permitted activity, or actually permitted activity is all in the utility.
Because I think there will be
Right now.
a
it's
negative
census.
reaction to this.
Oh,
But it's only $2 and we have an
Yeah,
actual
that's
cost.
true too.
We have an actual cost.
I know. I agree.
I don't know, I mean, I would prefer to continue to give people a little bit of free parking, but if that's just hard to do, then I
Yeah.
support a $2.
I would prefer to maintain the free 20 and then this for the additional.
Yeah, except it's $50,000.
yeah, it's, yeah, I mean, we just need to educate people, it's not
And
like we're
can we
making money, your
renegotiate
cost,
with
the free is costing,
Now you pay the transaction,
yeah, I mean,
and the software
It was just an
program is great.
oversight. We should have,
Yeah,
it was an oversight when we implemented the system to begin
I mean,
with.
how long is our contract with them? Can
It's professional. We can always renegotiate, but
yeah.
we didn't pay any software or
right.
implementation fees because that was all embedded into the way that the fee structure was designed, that we pay as we use it. And that's transaction based.
And if it's true that it's $50,000, I mean, that's a 0.5% of levy right there.
Yes.
And it's hard to make up with just permitting, because the expense is coming out of the parking utility, and then you're just selling monthly permits for lots, it's really hard.
All right, maybe this is part of a bigger discussion of whether or not we should limit overnight parking.
It does
If
get
it
into
costs us
that.
$50,000 a year to have overnight parking restrictions versus not, I don't know.
You mean just get rid of restrictions?
Let's get rid of the
Or allow,
overnight
yeah, allow
parking.
people to have overnight parking.
Or you mean not let anybody park or get, or
Allow
let,
people to park
let
overnight.
people park over
And
there?
pay
Get rid of
for monthly
restrictions.
permit.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
That's,
Issue.
now that's.
In the interim,
There is a medium one there, there's an interim.
what is the general feel on that topic for staff direction?
I'm okay with $2.
$2, we left it.
With good education on it, it is the cost of,
Yeah.
it costs to have process, you're online, it's not a free.
You said $2 is to break even, or we still?
$2 will ultimately break even because our costs are actually gonna go up. And then usage will probably go down a little.
Yeah.
Is the timing of
Because
the
it goes in
implementation,
the
Mark,
right
an impact how much you project the revenue in the
No.
budget? Okay, so like if we were to start
We're
January
gonna-
1st versus March 1st,
January 1st, March 1st, yeah, we're gonna make.
because there's pros and cons in
Because,
when we
you know,
start.
resident behavior
that I
may
wanna-
change a little bit. But,
Okay,
so we'll make some educated guesses and
so we can figure out.
then we'll get some data and we'll go from there for next year's
But
budget.
this does not impact the levy. You're
No.
going to adjust your projected revenues based on this, and the parking utility, it'll get implemented in its due course and then analyzed during the year to see how.
Exactly.
So we're talking about maybe not doing it January 1st, but doing it March 1st.
Yeah, well, I raised that just in case Mark wanted to project a different revenue, because on the timing issue, I don't want to talk about that necessarily tonight.
I think from
But-
a communication standpoint.
Yeah, but from a communication
Yeah.
standpoint, there's some strategies I'd like to do, like consider even Shorewood today, which the March issue comes
Right.
out.
Yeah.
The spring issue comes out in March, but, you know, there's some strategies I want to talk at a different time,
I
figure
think,
that
I
out.
think there's,
Yeah.
I think due course will get into 18. And part of that is evaluating communications and all the other things, but it'll probably take 4 to 6 weeks just to deal with the programming without doing any communication. So, I mean, there's,
We can do them simultaneously.
true. Line number 40 then is also a topic on the parking utility, increase RCA permits from $5 per year to $20 per year for additional discussion.
So this is, I don't know if it was me, I'm pretty sure it probably was, but the thought is, we do have an RCA boundary, but they're, and we charge a minimal $5 a year to give that service.
What is RCA?
Okay, so around the university.
Oh, I
there's-
remember,
yep,
sorry.
There's a residential congestion area.
Right.
But we also give the same permit to any other street that wants to designate themselves with this congestion measure, like Farwell just did, and is it Stowell or Prospect, I can't remember, there's two, thank you. So, because that, it's a $5 a year, it's very, and that was done on purpose, I understand the history of why the board did that, but you're still paying a fee, and the boundary, I expect, without any changes to our ordinances, may increase, just because our residential streets may, you know, the residents on them, even from the business district, that was, you know, some of these discussions in the past, as it gets more vibrant, residents might want to restrict their street to only their only their parking. So with that, I think we could, this is a spot where I think the service that we are providing by monitoring and enforcing these permits, you know, the police checkers aren't free. So the service that we're providing through our police department to allow them this convenience is costing us more than $5 a year per house. And so I don't know what the right number is. I don't know, Mark, how 20 came up, but whatever staff might
Okay.
recommend, I don't know that right number until we have a parking analysis, but regardless, it is definitely over $5 a year, and so, so it's up to the board
Parking
to
ticket's $25.
Right.
Then the doubles,
I mean,
50
so-
and 5, so.
So one parking, if they didn't have this, they might,
Experience.
they might get a parking ticket and it's $25. And so this is definitely a convenience and it's definitely costs us money to enforce. And so I believe that we could, if 20 is too high for people, we could move it up to 10 and, determine something better or more appropriate at a future date. But I do think it is time to reevaluate it.
Is this per car or per household or what?
It's per car.
Per car, that's right.
Per annum, it's annual.
Right, it's
It's
annual.
annual.
The
I would say
sticker,
go
20 or 25,
25 months,
$25.
that's one parking ticket free.
Yeah, but the thing was set up because these houses are either close to the business, they're getting a lot of parking, UWM. It's not a convenience